Question. Are there some things that you do every single morning when you wake up that you wouldn't even consider giving up? Not even one morning ever. Just wondering. Back in a minute. Hey, good morning. Good morning. This is Jan from New York City. I love helping people keep some more of their own hard-earned money. How you doing this morning? Hope that this morning finds you bold and beautiful and feeling good. And even if you're not feeling so good, trick yourself into it. Say, you know what? Look into the mirror and say, hey, listen, I may not be feeling so good at the moment, but I am going to feel good very, very soon. I'm going to have me a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, or say to yourself, for example, say it's like the kind of day where you're facing some things you're really not interested in facing, or personal challenges that everyone has personal challenges. And say to yourself, look in the mirror and say, you know what? I am going to get through this challenge today. I am going to turn that challenge into a hiccup, into a minor hiccup. Okay. Hope that this audio video, as always, finds everybody doing well. I have some questions for you, and please let me know in the comments section below. I really appreciate it. What is one ritual or two that you wouldn't even think of giving up in the morning? Well, I could think of one without even blinking my eyelash, and of course, it's sitting next to me. I don't think I could start my day without a hot beverage of some sort. I don't even care if it's 90 degrees out. It is just a habit that I developed. Don't get me wrong. Like, for example, hot beverages are definitely much more enjoyable on a dry, cool, crisp morning. Like, like after the humid summer is over, and then embrace those September brisk mornings, at least in my neck of the woods every year. Oh man, that coffee tastes even better. But even on a hot day, I seem to walk over to that coffee pot, or hot water creator, I should say, my little hot kettle there. I love that thing. Put that thing on, one eye open. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I got to have my instant coffee. So that's one routine, but that's something I like. Let's talk for a minute about facing or doing the things that we don't like first thing in the morning. Let me ask you a question. This is another question. Do you prefer to get what I call the uglies out of the way? The things you're dreading, like, I really don't want to do this thing today. I really don't want to make that phone call today. Oh, I got to sit down and do my paperwork of some sort, some task. I have to do some paperwork today. I do. I have to face it. And I did find this out through experience. When I face certain challenges, particularly of things that are not necessarily my top favorite thing to do, I have found out in my life that it works out much, much better for me to face that quote, end of quote, ugly thing that I don't want to do right away in the morning. Ta-da! Why? Some people are like, now wait a minute, Jan. You're telling me that it would be a better idea. I'm telling you what works for me, and I'll give you my reasons. Number one, you tackle it. And for every unpleasant task, even if it's just as simple as reorganizing your closet, you're probably saying, yeah, right, Jan. Like, reorganizing the closet so simple. What I mean by it's like, yeah, it's physically challenging. I agree with you. Sometimes it could be, but it's not like, like the most important thing in the, whole wide world. Okay. So it's something that is definitely doable. Okay. Yes. Yes. I have found in my life, I like that invisible check mark. And by the way, speaking of check marks, okay, this is why I'm telling you, even if you do this, let's say, even if you type this out on your like instant or quick memo thing on your phone, but I still use a notebook. I use both. Okay. but I still like to look at it in an old-fashioned notebook. I have notebooks of all sizes. Large notebooks, medium notebooks, small notebooks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess the student slash teacher in me never ever stopped. It just never stopped. But it has been also found that when a person completes, and this is true, so remember this, and you might tend to agree with me on this. If there's a task that you really like, don't want to face, and you knock it out of the ballpark bright and early, aha, assuming that you had a decent night's sleep, okay, and assuming, maybe you woke up to a little caffeine to help you out there, or a hot cup of decaf, whatever floats your boat as far as a hot drink or a cold drink or juice, whatever it is, or a little exercise, whatever it is that makes you wake up and think more clearly. Once you get that unpleasant task, the task that you've been like facing with dread, sometimes the dread, and I mean this, sometimes the dread is worse than the actual situation. Have you ever noticed, has this ever happened to you? You ever dread something? Sometimes people dread things not only for a few hours, but sometimes for a few days, sometimes for a few weeks or months, even. Some people face certain things with dread. And it's like, oh, I dread doing this. Oh, I can't stand the thought of doing that. And dread is not a good thing. Okay. So dread is just not a good thing. The better thing to do is to say, you know what, dread, I'm gonna squash you down for what it is. You are just something I am conjuring up in my mind. And I am going to take my imaginary eraser in my mind and I'm going to get rid of dread. Erase the word from your mind. All right. But I'll tell you one thing. If you do face that thing that you are not so much looking forward to, and you tackle it, do this. Take a pen or a pencil or a crayon or a marker. I really don't care. I don't even care if you get one of those smiley stickers, like even a real sticker, like a sticker, like peel it off sticker. Put it next to that task that you have accomplished. Okay. Well, there's that every annual thing that, Americans have to do, and we have to report it. Okay. Money, you know what I'm talking about. And not everybody loves doing their taxes. I'm just saying, just saying. Okay. But it's a thing that has to get done. It's your obligation, have to do it. All right. Some people send it off to a professional. Some people rather get a glimmer of an idea and do it on their own. Then they send it off to a professional. Whatever the case may be, even if it's just that you're sending it off to a professional, still have to organize your paperwork. Am I right or am I right? There might be tasks that people don't want to do. They don't want to look at their paperwork. They're like, Here's a good idea. If you know you have to do something by a certain date, whatever that something is, give yourself plenty of wiggle room to do a little bit of the dreaded thing in baby bites. Now, there are two types of people out there. Some people like to get the band aid ripped off them, boom, like that, peeled off real quick. Okay. Some people rather do little things and small tasks that are manageable. It all depends. Some days I rather have the band aid ripped off quickly, and some days, well, you know what I'm trying to say? Some days it's just the other way around, and I just rather accomplish certain tasks in little baby bites to get my toe in the water, my foot in the water, so to speak. All right. So here's the bottom line of this video message today. Many of us will have, if not all of us, will have certain challenges in our life that, let's just say, it's not like an invitation to a party that you feel like going to. Okay. It's something you're not looking forward to. Face those dreaded, as I call them, uglies in the morning. Face them first. That way, guess what? It's behind you. It's behind you. Now, some people, I mean, okay, maybe for me it's easier to say I am a morning person. But if your quote best time to be more perfunctory is later in the day, then you pick the time that is correct for you. But get that dreaded thing or things out of the way early. Now, Some people think, let's take it down to a more simplistic level. Some people are not fond of cleaning up. They're just not fond of straightening up their home or apartment. It's just not the most important thing to them. I know it's hard to believe. I know it's hard to believe. But some people, it's just not their thing. They should either, one, consider hiring someone or just maybe at least trying a little bit of it. Maybe it might, not you personally, whoever this applies to. And then maybe that person or persons may actually like it. A good approach is baby bites. And I have shared plenty of video suggestions in the past about here's the thing, if you maintain something, isn't that so much easier than letting things pile up? Some people pile everything up, whether it's paperwork, whether it's straightening up their home or apartment. I'll put that thing in the catch-all today. Well, that might work for 1 or 2 days. And then all of a sudden, that catch-all caught all and everything and above. And that catch-all is like flying out of the box you put it in. No, no, no. Rather than that, tackle things as you see best. If it's little by little, great. If it's peeling off the, band-aid quickly, great. But find a way. Find a way. That's the thing. That's the motivation today. Get rid of all the unattractive things you don't want to do. Get rid of all the challenges you don't want to face. Listen to positive, uplifting videos. There are so many on here. I mean it. You'll be amazed and shocked at how much you can accomplish. All of us, we have to try though. We have to really want to. See, that's the thing. But I tell you one thing I would appreciate. Please share this video and don't forget to do the following. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care of yourself and each other.